Everyone's here this morning. Looks like it's going to be a sunny day. Hey Gray, did you finally come around to share with Tux? Good. There's your Sunday morning position. Newspaper, coffee,
yeah.
Relax for a minute before we head out. Don was figuring out the Dorothea Dix Park map. So we know where to try to park for the sunflowers. But part of our thing is we want the walk to them. We're not trying to get the closest parking space. And it is going to be a zoo, so we just expect it. And
yeah, well, I think we probably be okay because there's, you know, less desirable parking areas if you're trying to get to the sunflowers. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we said, we're trying to get in our walk from the car to the sunflowers and the sunflowers back to the car and not get in the gravel lot super close to the sunflower field.
We're not trying to park 200 feet from the sunflowers.
So we should be okay. But there will be people there, no doubt. It's peak weekend for the sunflowers. So like we said, we're headed to Dorothea Dix Park. You can basically see the Raleigh skyline from there. It's quite close to downtown. It's where we tried to go see the drive-through light show last year.
God.
And we're stuck in traffic for 3 hours, 4 hours, and never got to see the show. Yeah, anyway, it's 18 miles, 30 minutes. And Don has a printed out map so we can sort of see. He picked the walking trail over to the sunflower area or over to the park from where we were. Well, we are all the way on the other side of the park. This huge, I don't know how many acres it is, but it's 100 acres maybe. It's huge. Yeah. Way far away from the sunflowers. There's like not another soul in sight over here. Don parked sideways on purpose. There's another 30 spots up there, but we don't expect anyone to be even over here while we're here today beside us. And he made it so it was still visible from the road. So if somebody was thinking something not good, they might feel like they could be seen by people, because there will be people coming in and driving past. They just will not want to park this far away. And we're going to pick up the Greenway Trail that comes from downtown from over 401. It goes through Raleigh, and it'll go over to near the sunflowers, and we're going to walk the Greenway Trail. We have not been on this before. We knew about it, but we hadn't been on it before. So Dorothea Dix used to be the quote-unquote mental hospital in downtown Raleigh. And in 2015, they started turning it into a park. And as you can see, it's pretty big. I have to look up on Wikipedia and see if it tells us exactly how big, but They're still in the early converting it to a real park phase. I mean, we've got this greenway trail that comes through and they hold events down here, and I think there are still a few government workers and offices out here that they may not have moved out yet, but they've got big plans for it. And like I said, the downtown is basically on the other side of those trees. We'd be able to see it if the trees weren't blocking the view. There's downtown. See? We're just taking this little foot trail down to the greenway trail because where we parked there wasn't a official path to it. And yes, Don's doing that guy thing, and he's got my heavy camera so I can enjoy taking pictures over here, but I'm not, well, he said getting worn out, but we're not going to make my neck hurt because, you know, I haven't been able to carry it around my neck like I used to. I used to go 5 hours with that thing around my neck and be fine at the zoo or something, but I'm a little older now. Got to be a little more careful. Wow, this is a nice trail for sure.
Oh, I hear water.
Yeah, Reedy Creek.
Oh, that's
Yep, that's got to be Reedy Creek.
Did not know that.
Yep.
Learn something new every day.
Yep, like a real creek complete with rocks and everything down there. So I think I said this yesterday or the day before, but the sunflowers at the Museum of Art are 2 to 3 weeks behind Dorothea Dix. And Donna and I definitely want to go over there and walk because they have a really nice trail and takes you out. Yeah, they have a really nice trail, takes you out over I-440. You get to see the cars beneath you, that kind of thing. But also the trail has these really huge artistic sculptures, pieces of art out there, and it's out in the sun, but it is a very nice, easy walk. So I hope we'll get to do that in a couple of weeks whenever they say it's the right time to go. And they have ample parking over there, so I'm sure it'll be crowded there too, but the parking won't be quite a disaster. You're going to see the cars when we get close to the sunflowers over here. For a Sunday morning, I think we'll all be just very surprised at how busy it is. Sign says Dorothea Dix Fall Flower Planting in Progress. Yeah, Don said he considered parking here, but he was worried that this would fill up and he knew it wasn't very big.
This idea I had, this is the closest parking lot
to the sunflowers. That's
well, yeah, this concept of we'll just park here, walk in. This is the parking lot that's closest.
Well, I will put the map up of the park so you guys can see, because Don, the map he has printed in the car does show the trail that we're on. It outlines it quite well. You know, somebody's done that at some point.
What's that?
Walked across that big tree.
Yeah, well, that's tricky getting down there.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't say it wasn't be tricky, or that I wanted to do it. Well, who knew the trail came right here to Martin Luther King Boulevard? Didn't know that. We're kind of close to WRAL here. We're close to NC State. We're close to Pullen Park. As we turn over here, I guess we're low, so we can't see downtown, but I did not know that this came out here. That was a short walk. You can see the overpass there, the train bridge, whatever that is. And this is basically one of the other entrances to the park. And you can see the cars waiting to turn in up here to see the sunflowers. That's a little less of a zoo than I anticipated.
Yeah, I think some of the listeners wore off.
Or we're just early on a Sunday, but I mean, this lot is fairly full. But not impossible, and people aren't parked out on the street, because I think last year they were parked out on the street too. It was plenty bad. Of people, not quite the zoo I remember. There they are, sunflowers, lots of sunflowers. And they go on way down that way. I think it's a bigger planting this year than it was the last time we were here, because it goes up there pretty far.
There's actually two, this planting, and then there's a connecting plant to the other one.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's a third one over at the museum, but there's actually two fields here.
Well, let's walk up and then work our way back.
Okay.
I'm at 1.1 miles, so Don did good where he parked us, and the length of the trail over here and that kind of thing. We'll be hopefully at like 2.5 miles by the time we get back to Jules. The sun is flirting in and out with us, so I should be able to get some cloudy and some sunny pictures. You know, depending on how you want to process it, both can work. There was a warning out there, one of the things Don read about fire ants, and I'm very susceptible when I'm looking at pretty flowers and butterflies to not watching where my feet are, but I do have on my sneakers, so hopefully I'll be okay. I haven't seen any mounds yet, so hopefully we're good. We're still on the farthest outer row from where we walked up, and we're gonna do a couple of rows in between these tall ones, and then, you know, we're just enjoying them. It's only so many ways you can shoot a sunflower with the camera, but you know, it's going good.
Crazy other things to do.
Yeah, there's lots of bees here. You would think I would be concerned, but I'm not. And besides, it's for sunflowers, so I'll either get stung or I won't.
The sign says they face east and follow the sun, and I would say some of the young ones down there, those things have perked right up now that the sun's come out.
Yeah, heliotropic or tropic, I think was the fancy word for it. It's cool. It says as they get taller they change less. When they're younger they change more. That kind of makes sense. More to move when they're big, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I hadn't noticed that until you said it, but yeah, I'll say the little ones are like facing.
They're like, hello sun, here we are. Shine on us, sun. This is cool. This is really cool. Yeah, if you're allergic to bees, I guess this wouldn't be a good place to be, at least not without your EpiPen.
Yeah, just bring your EpiPen.
And if you're afraid of bees, just try not to be. I don't know. As much as I've been bitten, I'm still not too afraid.
Well, if you don't try to swat them,
well, you know, when I was little, I used to step in the clover in the backyard in Trenton and get bit all. I would collect honeybees in a jar just for sport.
So they'll fill out the rest of the way, the little center parts or something?
Yeah, they'll become more puffy. One of the signs back there that said that the center is actually thousands of flowers. And on these right here, especially like this one, they just haven't opened all yet.
Right. Well,
whereas we look at, you know, this one here is certainly all the way open, the flowers part. Several drones up in the air near us. I was gonna say one thing's for sure is you can't complain about the size of the field this year or the height of the flowers, because they got some smaller variety and a larger variety depending on the height of the person you're trying to get pictures of in front of them. And you know, it's crowded, but you can find space to be not around too many people. And thank you, City of Raleigh. If it were fall, I'd think we were at Ken's Corny Corn Maze. Of course, it's sunflowers, but you know, same principle here. I want to come back up another row, but first we'll have to go down a row. Although sometimes they're really pretty from the back side too. You can get some interesting photos backlit. RaleighSkyline.com was out here yesterday morning, I think, and got a picture of the sunrise with the sunflowers. It's a tricky picture, you know, the angle of where downtown is and the sunflowers actually showing enough of their faces at that time of the day pointing toward the sun to be worth taking. But it was a pretty cool shot, and I always admired them for being up and at 'em or out late and at 'em, shooting pictures that nobody else gets in Raleigh. There are irrigation lines down every row, so they were serious about these doing well, regardless of whatever the rainfall was this spring and summer. You kind of have to watch your feet. Not too bad, but it's not flat. I see a couple of these dark orange red variety a couple rows over, so I think we're gonna have to go check those out because I do really enjoy that variety also. Well, the fact that some people have parked up here at this upper lot is probably why it wasn't quite so overwhelming down where we came in from.
Yeah, well, I think the lot, when we go back, will be pretty full.
Yeah, I'm sure more people coming out of church will be stopping. Don was saying the darker variety must finish earlier, bloom earlier and finish earlier, because some of them aren't in as great a condition as the yellow ones, and of course some of them haven't even opened yet. It'll be nice here all through the week.
Yeah, it'll be.
So if you're local, I would not hesitate to come.
Even next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend even is probably not too late, especially since they've got irrigation. It's not like they're gonna get dried out in the sun. We're gonna go back to Jules a different way than we came, check out the parking situation and the lay of the land on this other side over here. Make a circle like we try to do in the car with our walking. We didn't walk every row, but we walked a lot of rows.
I don't think you missed any.
While Don's napping, I was joking with somebody else shooting pictures. I'll be post-processing this afternoon, picking the best of the best. I don't think I overdid it. I'm sure I have 300 photos of sunflowers maybe to choose from. Not thousands though. Well, there is quite a bit of parking coming in from this other side to Magnolia Room. That's where the playground is and some picnic shelters if you have kids and want to eat lunch while you're here or something. I could have gone back the Greenway Trail, but we're just, you know, making a loop and learning a little bit more about the lay of the park. Things you learn when you're walking versus driving. And we should have a mile or less to get back to Jules, somewhere straight ahead of us.
Half mile, 3/4 maybe.
Yeah. I did not turn off my walk since we've technically still been walking. I have to say that I said I did not turn it off. The heat is getting to me a little bit. Don has carried water and I've had some, but it's just really hot in the sun now. I'm ready to sit down. Yeah, DHHS, Department of Health and Human Services, is still using that particular building. I guess that's the farmer's market down there. Maybe? Yeah. Looks like that, or I guess NC State property because of the color of the tiles on the roof.
I know, I think so.
It looks like the farmer's market. Umstead Drive, and you know we parked Jules right off of Umstead Drive, but just to remind you that if you have trouble finding your car, you've parked at some large event or big venue or whatever, that you can go in, and not only does it on the first screen of the Tesla app show you the address where your car is parked, the location, but if you click on location, it shows you a map. And you can see that you're headed in the right direction towards your car, which we confirmed that we were, but like I said, we really knew. So don't forget that. If you're concert, beach, any amusement park, and you're like, oh goodness, where did I park? You should be able to tell from the app. Yeah, well, last time we were here was 2019, which I think was the first year the sunflowers were here instead of out along the falls of the new Greenway Trail. And then last year they didn't do them because of COVID. But what I was going to say is we were all interested to come and take a tour of the property. They do tours like once or twice a month on the weekend. I think it's free or it's a nominal fee. But we never did do it because of COVID and it was hard to schedule it. I wanted to bring Johnny and it was hard to schedule. So maybe at some point, because I would like to know, you know, just exactly what are all these buildings on here. Some of them are still in use, some of them aren't. Which one was the hospital? You know, that kind of thing. There's Jules. Well, the sidewalk doesn't quite go there, but that's okay. Oh, the stories some of these buildings could tell. Yeah, I was trying to walk in a proper place and not through some flower bed, but I think this is fine here. This is nothing fragile. So there were closer places that also were not super crowded. You probably could have gotten away with a mile's walk instead of a close to 3-mile walk today if that's what you wanted. But there's no getting over a little bit of walk unless you have a handicapped person with you. Well, my watch says 2 hours, 2 minutes and right at 3 miles. And my heart was up in the 130s there in the heat, walking on a little incline, but it's coming down pretty quick now.
Yeah.
We won't look at pace today, it would be useless.
Yeah. We do have a nice walk map.
Oh yeah, take a screenshot for me. Don and I are commiserating just how much we would have liked to have gone to the NC seafood restaurant and shared a plate and had us a tea and enjoyed some seafood, and then come down here to the NC State Creamery and had us a big old ice cream afterward.
Yeah.
And those were the good old days. You know, when you're young, you can kind of get away with it, and then when you get older, you just really can't. So
let's refer to them as the bad old days. Now we're in the good old days.
Yeah. Are you getting nachos before chicken wings, before ice cream? I'm gonna try ice cream tonight made with monk fruit.
Yeah, the artificial with
What's not
non-caloric sweetener.
Right, it's not artificial. It's plant derived, like stevia.
Non-caloric sweetener.
Right, but it's not artificial. It's not made in a laboratory. It's plant based.
Yeah. So
it is processed, however, to get it into liquid drops, which the stevia is also.
Right.
Anyway, Don's getting some nachos. I'm going to spend maybe 45 minutes before I start cooking the chicken wings, because it's only 4:30 on my next Lego project. And I have decided I'm going to do the second Empire house. I've been collecting these dark orange bricks for a while now. And you'll see that it has the Victorian roof with the 75 with the 75 slope black bricks there and stuff. This is a 48 by 48 base plate instead of a 32 by 32, so it's bigger. I told Don we were going to have to get me a piece of cardboard, because with this lip on the table, which is most of the time good, when that gets some weight on it, spinning it around without a piece of cardboard or something underneath it is going to be a little difficult. So what I'm trying to say is the top of my table is just couple centimeters too small. So I made it up to step 5. I've got the, street frontage part done, and made it more in line with all of my other buildings than what this had. This had smaller brick looking tiles, and I have the larger ones, but that's in line with all my other stuff. And the first level of the foundation and the little walkway to where the back steps are going to be. And it's coming along, but it's time. It's 5:15 now, and that's my 45 minutes, and it's time for me to go cook. Now look, I know every other house I've had a green plate. All of my houses have green plates, and I know that this is a gray plate. But in order, you can pick up a brand new gray plate for just a few bucks, like this, about the size of the amount of the green plate. But if you want a green one like this one, they don't make them anymore, and they're like $50 or some ridiculous thing. So mostly you don't see it anyway, and I'll just cover in some of the extra dots here with green. I'm going to go get some green dots. And this gray plate will be just fine. But I realize it's gray, and it's gray because the green plate isn't manufactured anymore, and the few of them that are out there are ridiculous in price.
She has a surprise for him, but she's got nothing for me.
That's not true. I've got chicken wings and ice cream we're going to try with monk fruit for the first time.
Okay.
I've got something for you. I've always got something for you. Come on now. So Johnny.
Yeah.
Guess where we're going this week? Not besides the bird park Wednesday.
Well, we're either going to Emerald Point or Carowinds.
Emerald Point.
Wow. Nice.
With Miss Michelle.
You got her to
on Tuesday with a cabana and everything. Because it's Devin just turned 18 and Connor just turned, whatever Connor turned. They both had birthdays this week. And your birthday's this week. Yeah. And we're gonna go to Emerald Point Tuesday.
Nice. So 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days in a row. And If all things work out, you get to spend the night with Miss Michelle Tuesday night.
Woo!
Oh, that's also fun.
Yeah, and Miss Michelle has a new cat. A kitten named Wyatt, who's really adorable. So
Wow.
I know Johnny loves animals. He's gonna enjoy seeing the new kitten. So I'm thinking it's gonna be a good birthday week. I'm thinking. And so Smithfield's on the way home Tuesday. And Outback on the way home Wednesday.
Wow.
So 2 things in a row.
Yeah. You kids can't let me down. If I can do the drive-in and keep up at 53, y'all are gonna have to. You can nap while I drive, but I don't want. But I want gun-ho kids in the car.
I want them all napping.
They never give me any trouble. Even when they were little, they didn't give me trouble.
Good kids.
Sriracha sauce on the right, teriyaki on the left. Johnny really likes the teriyaki, and it's not that much harder to make 2 flavors. So I ended up putting 30 drops of monk fruit in and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and it's just vanilla flavored, and it's nice and creamy and it tastes good. Although, it's obviously not as good as a half a cup of maple syrup in there, which is the max amount. Sometimes I was making it with 1/4 of a cup or 1/3 of a cup. I was already cutting it down. I can't say I love the monk fruit in it, but it certainly didn't ruin it by any standards. And if the guys are going to put any kind of syrup or sauce on it or whatever, it'll be fine. You're pretty cute. Where's your brothers and sisters tonight? Did they leave you up here with that all by your lonesome? They're getting big.